What's going on, guys? Happy Thursday to you. Welcome to the Pro Fan Talk. My name is Marcus Thomas. Thank you, as usual, for joining me. I had to let that World Series tag sit for just a little bit longer. Had to let it sit because we there, folks. We there. So what's going on, man? A lot of stuff going on. I see my dad first out of the limo. Dad was on early, like at 6:30. So dad's number one out the limo. Chris is number two. And people will be filing in as usual. But man, it has been a week. It has been a week of excitement. There's mom number 3 out the limo. Drew Rastelli, number 4 out the limo. Let's go. Drew number 4. Let's go Phillies. Ring that bell, man. It's for real now. No more talking about it. We got to be about it. I am so excited. Just the last couple days have been just off the charts. Philadelphia has been lit. We had a storybook ending, not ending, but just continuation with Bryce Harper and that home run. No lie, I've had to have watched that at bat and that home run no less than 50 times since it happened. Jake Friel, number 5 out the limo. What's up, my guy? Let's go. Phillies in 6. I like the way you think, bro. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. It's always a good feeling, man, when your team is that team. When your team is that team. Last year, I remember, Jalen Hurts was doing some pretty decent things and some pretty bad things, and everybody's looking everywhere else. And I wish, fans could have, looked a little bit deeper. But I understand how fans react to different things, and you always look at another situation wishing it was you. Always wishing it was you. I remember people were actually talking about seeing if Howie would trade for Russell Wilson when that was still in the mix. How funny does that sound now? If Russell Wilson was right here now, playing like he's playing right now, Philadelphia would rip him up. They too nice out in Denver. He would not want this type of smoke. He would not want this green smoke up here, man. That would be bad for business. So, but I remember that. And all of the people that the Philadelphia fans would rather have had instead of Jalen Hurts. And you just got to give it a little bit of time. What's up, TK? What's going on, fam? You just got to give situations like that a little bit of time. I remember mid-season, Phillies hit that slump, and everybody's got something to say. Again, that's what fans do. But baseball, very similar to like how basketball is, you got to give it time to breathe, man. We went through our little hiccups and slumps, and then Bryce Harper got hurt, and it just Schwarber got hot for a minute. Then he was striking out every other at bat. You go through your ups and downs, and every team does that. Every team does that. Sixers are in the same boat right now. They're coming out to a trashy start, and already we talking about Doc Rivers. You got to get him out of here. We'll see. Maybe he does need to go. But I will reserve that type of judgment. Give me a bigger sample size. I need a much bigger sample size. As long as the season is in the NBA and in Major League Baseball, you can't fly off the handle on a little bad stretch. Now, with the Sixers, we're at the beginning. So, that's the first thing you see. That's the first impression for this year. And it hasn't been a very good one. But you know what? You know who didn't have a very good first impression? Was Nick Sirianni. His first impression wasn't very good, not a very good press conference, and everything that came with that. But you got to give it room to breathe. You got to give it time. There's some things that people are working out. You think they're going out there to lose? Absolutely not. So you got to give them time to get stuff together. So it's early, and let's just leave it at that. If we're 30 games in and the Sixers still look like hot garbage, and you want to get rid of Doc Rivers, I'm sure Daryl Morey is going to do what he got to do. The Eagles, they have a legitimate chance to run a table in the regular season. Let me shelve that conversation because we're going to get into that a little bit later. So let me say that to later. But first, let me get back to the love fest for our Phillies, man. These dudes have just, the way it was done this year. There's a ton of stuff on social media right now. One of the things that I liked that I saw was they took that whole sequence of Harper's at bat. They cut it down, obviously, but it was like his last two swings at bat when he hits the home run. But they put it to the music and the cadence of that last scene in the movie Moneyball. And they even put like the filter on the video clip and everything. It was pretty good. But like, I love seeing stuff like that, man. Like, everybody wants to be a part of a champion, man. I am so glad at every level. I'm proud to say I've been a champion in one way, shape, or form, be it a fan or a player. Be it a fan or a player. When I was little, I'm born and raised in Cincinnati. The Big Red Machine was hot. Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Dave Concepcion, Ken Griffey Sr., Tom Seaver, Johnny Bench. Did I say Johnny Bench twice? But that whole group, that was the Big Red Machine. And we won back-to-back, I believe. Then when we moved to St. Louis, I think St. Louis won the World Series when we was out there in the early 80s. Then we moved back to Cincinnati. Then Cincinnati won with Eric Davis and Barry Larkin and Chris Sabo and that whole crew. So we was part of a championship. I believe we swept Oakland that year. I believe that was 88, 87 or 88. So I didn't get a chance to play in the Super Bowl, but one of my best friends, Ron Carpenter, was part of the Rams Super Bowl win when they were the greatest show on turf with Vermeil and that whole team. He was part of that. So by proxy, when I see my friend, and to everybody, if you know somebody personally that's playing on the championship team, you're rooting for that team. I got a chance to play for the championship when I was in Scotland in the World League. And that was a champion. A chip is a chip, man. I don't care where you win it from. A chip is a chip. So we did that in 96. Then you come back living in Philadelphia or living in the Philadelphia area. The Phillies win it in 08. And then the Eagles win it in 17. So, man, just to be able to get a taste of that. And then, of course, being Eagles alumni, being a part of the whole parade celebration and all of that kind of stuff, just amps it up. If you guys follow me on social media, you know I put pictures from that event constantly. Because of what happened this week, I had that picture of me and Howie Roseman. Because that dude is still wheeling and dealing. He's playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. So this city is alive. And I guess every city, for that standpoint, when your team is in the championship. So, but ever since this play right here, I believe that's Reese Hoskins when he slammed that bat after hitting that home run. Man, it just took off from there. It just took off from there. And you couldn't stop us. We had a couple of little hiccups, But at the end of the day, this man right here put it down. Mike Chromiak, what's good, dude? What's going on, my guy? But just, man, let me just gush over Bryce Harper for a minute, dude. I know if you from Philly, if you from this area, you saw it. I don't know, like if my dad and my mom and people from the outside looking in, I don't know if you pay attention to baseball like that, but we were front and center. And to have that type of moment and to come through at that type of moment is something that is a kid's dream right there. Down by one in the ninth. When in this situation, it wasn't in the ninth, but the last at bat in the eighth, and you got one man on base, and you crack it to the opposite field over the fence. Storybook. That was a epic ending, and you don't get that a lot. That was an epic ending. You can have a good series, and then one team or another will fizzle out. Game 6, even when it goes game 7, rarely do you have like an epic finish. It might go game 7 and you lose by 6-7 runs or something like that. But when it comes down to the last few innings, that's an epic ending. And we came out better for it. Philadelphia came out better from that Bryce Harper home run. And everybody in the country that watches baseball was looking at us, wishing they were us. They can talk all the shit they want to about Philadelphia's fans, this, that, and the other. Everybody and their mama, every chance they get, they want to bring up either throwing snowballs at Santa or throwing batteries. Everybody brings that up. The national media brings that up ad nauseum. And it's like, have you been to a game out in LA or Oakland or the Giants or Boston? All the fights they have in the stands, but nobody says diddly squat. But the minute there's a fight somewhere in Philadelphia, it's like all bets are off. Everybody wants to pile on. But you know what? Y'all go ahead and pile on, because it's our team that's going to play the last game of the season. And everybody in the country wishes they were here. They wish they were us. I posted the thing. I saw that. Where's that at? I know I got it on the slide. Did I put it in the slide? Please tell me I put it in the slide. Let me see. I don't think I did. I forgot about it. Yep. It was that somebody's got a t-shirt. They got the t-shirt with Bryce Harper and Jalen Hurts dapping each other up. So I love that, because that's like the Phillies are going off, everybody's going nuts, and then you walk across the street to the link and we 6-0. So I'm looking forward to the Phillies handling their business. Let's see if we can take 2 in Houston. And let's close them out. Let's get them out of there. Sweep them. I don't give a damn. Sweep them. We can do it. Who do we have? We've got that's right. Our boy Nola, 2-1 with a 3.12 ERA, struck out 18 in his 3 postseason starts. He had a perfect game going into the 7th when we beat the Astros in early October. That clinched the wild card spot for us. But I'm interested to see what he looks like. Remember, he took that line drive to the calf the last time he was on mound. So, and it was reported the day after that he had a little bit of soreness. And I mean, when you take a line drive to the calf, it's gonna hurt. And that was a shot. So, good thing he shook it off and finished. But I suspect he'll be all right. So gives Wheeler an extra day to rest. I think that's a smart move. And, I'm not worried about the Astros. Now, the Astros have been playing good ball, undefeated in the postseason. They sweeping everybody, but they ain't sweeping us. So, they're going to put their man on the mound, and they're going to throw the ball over the plate. And that's what it's going to come down to, who gets the most hits. What's up, Pete? Pete Evans in the building, y'all. So, Nola will get it done. Our first 2 games, we got the aces out there ready to rock and roll. Everybody should be rested. Everybody should be on their best. Hopefully these bats will still stay red hot. If you see the poll question down there scrolling across the bottom, poll question, Bryce Harper is going to go yard game 1. Going to go yard game 1. I see it happening. And he's going to set the tone. And it's going to be what it's going to be. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the Phillies. This is fun. This is fun. So real quick, take a pause real quick. We got tonight Amazon Prime Thursday Night Football. That is so funny. Because I've heard nothing but complaints about Thursday Night Football. It really hasn't been that good. No fault of Amazon, but they just got bad luck that these teams that were supposed to be, these should have been some halfway decent games, but they have had last week's game was pretty good, pretty decent, but before that, they had some stinkers, man. They just some yawn fest. It was not good football. But I'm taking the Ravens tonight. I see the Ravens getting all over the Buccaneers because the Buccaneers can't get out their own way right now. Tom Brady looks old. He's looking like a 45-year-old dude trying to play quarterback because everybody's in his behind. He don't have Gronk to bail him out anymore. So it's all on him. And you can't deny, Brady being the GOAT and all of that kind of stuff. But guess what? Father Time is undefeated. So, and just because you can still sling it doesn't mean your wide receivers can get open, create separation. So you don't have that security blanket like you had before. And so it's all on you. And now you showing your age. And listen, man, I know it sounds kind of suspect, but dude, you walked into this familial situation, everything you dealing with back at home because you wanted to do this. And this is what's smacking you in the face. So karma's a bitch, man. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, I got the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, he was snake bitten the last couple of weeks. But he did throw a bad pick though. I think it was last week. It was like, come on, dude, you can't do that. But if he stays healthy, he's gonna get his bag. I hope he stays in Baltimore because that just wouldn't seem right that they would let him walk away or that he would want to walk away. He's in a good situation. It's up to Baltimore to get him some more pieces and do what they got to do. So we'll see. But at least it should be a good game tonight. So, but now to our boys, the Birds. We got Pittsburgh coming to the link. We got Kenny Pickett is the man now. He's going to start. So yeah, Dad, you're right. Brady should have retired. So should have bought that bike like you did. But Kenny Pickett is the rookie that is going to lead the Steelers into Philadelphia. So I am hoping that Gannon is going to have something ready for him. Give him some looks he's not used to seeing, confusing him. He's going to be in the same boat that Jalen was last year. Hidden coverages, disguised coverages, a lot of shifting, just to throw him off his game a little bit. That's what you do to rookies. Some rookies can pick some things up. Most of them can't, or at least they can't pick up everything. So we'll see what's going to happen. What's going on, Greg? So we'll see what's going to happen. I'm expecting the Eagles to win this game easily, and I'm really hoping that I want to see Devontae Smith and guys got to just go off. I know AJ Brown's going to be the one to get sprinkled in this week. I want to see Dallas, and I want to see Devontae just go berserk this week. I want to see Jalen over 300, but I want to see him over 300 before the fourth quarter starts. And I want the whole fourth quarter just to run the ball. I want to see Miles Sanders with like 22, 23 carries. Just dominate. I just want to continue to dominate our run game. I just want to. Lane Johnson is back. He came off the concussion protocol, so he's back in the mix. He's A-okay. I ain't gonna lie, was a little bit worried yesterday, but just gave him an extra day of rest. That's basically what it came down to. So, but it was weird because even going back looking at the film, I still can't see where he got hurt. And those are always the scariest injuries when you don't see it happen. Like, so that makes me think that it was something like mundane. Something very simple, something that happens, every time he takes the field. It wasn't anything extraordinary. Like, I don't know if anybody saw what happened to Zeke Elliott in Dallas when they were playing. I guess against the Lions, he hyperextended his knee and it looked nasty. So lucky for him, it's just a knee contusion. It could be worse. It could be, the Cowboys just playing games with the media so they don't let anything out. But that was an ugly hit. If you see it in slow motion and you see how far his knee bent backwards, hyperextended, that was scary because it could have been a lot worse. So, but we got Lane back, so that's a good place to be. Our offensive line is healed up. Their defensive line cannot mess with our offensive line. Their wide receivers can't mess with our secondary. We outmatch them at every position. Every position. The one position they might have us is at running back because Najee Harris is a beast. Not saying that Miles is not beasting right now, but with Najee's speed and size, TJ Edwards, you better be coming up and y'all better be wrapping up. You cannot lay a big hit on this guy. He's too big. You got to wrap him up. I'm talking to you, Marcus Epps. You gotta wrap up, bro. You've been playing great. With that only nitpick is that you come in and put that shoulder pad on them ankles, and sometimes that ain't enough. Sometimes you should have like a bunch of tackles for losses, and you don't. But at the end of the day, that's a nitpick. The defense has been playing very well. Very well. They've been holding opponents less than 20 points. What more do you want? And the one thing everybody will say is, I'd love to see our defense blitz more or whatever. And that's valid. But again, I'm not gonna nitpick on that. I would like to see them blitz some more, but if you understand what a blitz does, the minute you blitz, somebody's open. So, and it looks good. It's great until it isn't. That's the risk you take with blitzing. But I would agree that I believe we have the secondary that can support the blitz. And Gannon's not stupid, so I'm sure he could, bracket coverages or shift them over, whatever they want to do to support it. I'm very interested to see what Quinn does now that he has help on the other side. He got those 18 sacks last year in 2021. He was ranked the 5th best defensive end in 21. I got the stats. Yeah. So last year he was 2nd in sacks, fourth and fifth in forced fumbles with 4 assists, 27 solos. This year he's got 6, 2, and 1. So he had, when he hit them 18 sacks, let's not forget, I believe Khalil Mack was over there. So he had a lot of help. So now he's coming here. Hassan Reddick's over there. Or BG's over there. Or Sweat is over. So he's getting that help again. Again, teams have got to face the fact that they got to pick their poison. Who you coming for? Who you coming for? You gonna concentrate on Quinn? Why would they? He's been having an average year at best. So everybody's gonna shift focus to Hassan Reddick because Hassan's got the hot hand right now, and BG. BG's gimped up from that hamstring, but I think he's gonna go. I don't know if he's 100%. They haven't said anything. I know he's gonna play, but playing and being 100% are two different things. But the point I'm trying to make is now you got another elite level player opposite you. So maybe you're not going to get so many double teams. If you put Quinn on one side, Hassan Reddick on the other, with Jordan Davis in the middle, the minute Jordan Davis comes on the field, that's where the double team is going. So that leaves them a little bit of room on the outside. If they double team them on the outside, that means you've got a running back or a wide receiver or tight end helping out to tackle. So again, that gives us the numbers. We win the numbers game. Anytime you can, because you got to look at it like this. The one person that we can't account for as a defense is the quarterback. So even though it's 11 on 11, you even it up when you take up a double team. So Jordan Davis is the key in the middle for eliciting a double team. That should free him up on the outside, or the tight ends got to make a decision, or whoever's play calling, they got to make a decision with their tight ends. Are they going jumbos? Are they going to run some type of double strong set with 2 tight ends? There's a bunch of things that they can do, but anytime you bring in extra, you've given up something on the outside. Are they going to try to run on this? Maybe. Teams have had success running on us for the reasons I just laid out. Tackling gets a little shifty. I am quite positive everybody we play has watched the film of Dallas. And they've watched the film of Detroit. So they know if they want to smash down on that tackle to beat us outside to get the edge, or they're going to double team in the middle, center guard, and let the running back choose a hole. That's where the teams have had the most success with us. I'm positive that somebody else is gonna run that bootleg all day that Dallas did successfully. Everybody's got to play in their arsenal. There ain't no new plays in the league. It's just how you execute. So I expect to see some form or fashion of a naked boot from Pittsburgh because they watch film and they'd be stupid not to do it. because it works. It works. They sneak that tight end out on the strong side. Remember, he shuffles flat down the line of scrimmage and he just floats himself out into the open zone, or they line him up weak side, or I'm sorry, not weak side, but they run the fake to the weak side. The tight end smashes down on the tight end. I'm sorry, on the defensive end, and then they release out into the flats. And then if the ball's there quick enough, you can turn a 5-yard flat into a 10 to 15, depending on who makes the tackle or doesn't. So I'm sure they've looked at the tapes. I'm sure they've formulated the game plan. Mike Tomlin is not stupid. But I will take our defense versus a rookie. I'll take that. So if there's a week to send the pressure, send more pressure, send more blitz, just to confuse them, not know where to go with the ball, confusing your lanes, hot routes and stuff like that, this is the week to do it. Because you got a young kid back there, and he's what, on his third start? Third or fourth start? So if there's ever the time to do it, now's the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I expect we should have a good game. Now, the reason I bring this up is because this is John Hankins, and this is the guy that Dallas signed. And pretty good signing to fortify their defensive line, their interior defensive line. He's a defensive tackle. He's not an edge. We got an edge. So I'm looking at this, and of course, your boy is like, hold my beer. Howie Roseman is like, yo, I got you. And I know I posted this late, but on my YouTube channel, Pro Fan Talk YouTube, by the way. On my YouTube channel, I posted about the press conference for Quinn. As soon as you heard him talk, immediately I'm like, that's the OG right there. He's that dude. The minute I heard him talk, he's the guy. Every team has most teams have a guy, especially most pro teams. They have a veteran who is arguably the most popular guy in the locker room. He's the guy you go to when you want to talk, just to talk, when you want to talk life, or he's the guy. If that guy says something to you, he'll lift your spirits up. He'll make you feel better. He's the guy you want to talk to. He's the guy you want to say something to you. As a rookie, he's the guy that when you hit you on your shoulders like, good job, Rook, you're looking good. He's the kind of guy that will lift your spirits like that. You could immediately, listening to that press conference, I was like, that was that dude. And then you see the press conference with Roquan Smith. This guy's breaking down because he can't believe his guy just got traded. And I'm like, when you see him break down, you understand the type of relationship and what type of guy that was in that locker room. That was a huge blow. And I actually think that's going to affect them going into next week. They just played a great game, and then their de facto leader on the defense is out. And that just kind of takes the wind out of your sails. So I'll be interested to see what Chicago looks like this weekend. Because that was a blow. And who's replacing them? So we got a high character guy Hopefully we can get, you know what? Let's get half of his production from 21. Can I get half of his production? That's 9 sacks. I want to go back and look at the tape and see where he got all 18 and a half, because that's crazy. Hassan had what, 14 and a half sacks last year? Now we got somebody that had 18 last year. That's a force to be reckoned with. You know what I'm saying? So I saw the other post that was saying he's not done. Maybe he's looking at Kamara. Maybe he's looking at Hunt. I'm not sure what the running back situation. Why do we need another running back? I see you, Wick. We appreciate you, bro. Why do we need another running back? We got Miles Sanders, we got Gainwell, we got Boston Scott, and we got Trey Sermons. I want to see Trey Sermons run the ball. The couple of plays he got in a couple weeks ago, he looked good. But I understand if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I get that part. But we got enough. Are we trading somebody away? Because we're in a real interesting situation right now. Because we've got the perfect mix of personalities in that locker room. Nobody talks about that enough. I know I mentioned it way back early in preseason. We talked about that way back in preseason. I remember mentioning that when we signed Bradbury. Because after watching Bradbury in camp, I was like, Bradbury is the antithesis of Slay. Slay is the loud, boisterous one, the one always talking to smack. Bradbury just shows up and balls. Don't talk much smack, makes a play, gets up, back to the huddle, let's do it again. So Bradbury and Slay balance each other. Kaiser White is not a talk smack type of guy, but Kaiser White is a talker. TJ Edwards is kind of quiet. Hassan Reddick is kind of quiet. BG is the loudest one on the team. So we've got a very good balance of personalities, and it seems like everybody's, for the most part, is getting along. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, on most teams, everybody doesn't get along. It's like people in your family. They're your family. You can't get rid of them. You love them, but you don't want to be bothered sometimes. But that's on every team. And it seems like they've got a good group and a good core that's got everybody on the same page. Nobody's really hating on each other. You don't have a clash of personalities because you don't deal with people. You deal with personalities. And the wrong personalities can bust up your team. Everybody was here. Everybody knows the situation with Donovan and T.O. Donovan and T.O. should have set records that could have never been broken. Donovan and T.O. should have been setting Montana Rice type records. But they personalities didn't match. They didn't mesh. They didn't get along. So, again, it was great until it wasn't. I have no doubt that if T.O. would have stayed, the Eagles would have went to another Super Bowl. That's just my opinion, but we had the team to do it. But personalities and egos, man, they're like anchors. They will drag you down, slow you down. I feel you, Wick. He's going to get a good one. Howard's going to take care of him. Howard's going to take care of him. But the good people don't understand how good Jalen Hurts is doing it. And even the way he's been playing at QB, he's still got a lot to learn. And he's not at his ceiling yet. That's the good thing about Jalen Hurts. He's not close to his ceiling yet. And he's going to get there. So I expect him to get a good contract. Are they going to throw the bank at him? Something like that. They're not going to throw the whole bank at him, so it'll be a little bit of negotiation. But here's the thing is, and here's where all of the character stuff comes into play. Jalen Hurts is a high character guy, very high moral compass, all of that kind of stuff. Dad was his coach. Nick Saban, Oklahoma, Alabama, all of that kind of stuff comes into play. And with what's going on with Green Bay, Las Vegas, Tyreek Hill going to Miami. We talked about this last week when I was talking about Miles Sanders. Is the bag worth it? If you get the bag and you still end up losing, was it worth it? If Lamar Jackson balls out, gets the contract he's looking for, and then they continue to lose, what was the point? Are you playing for the money or are you playing to get a chip? That's the question. Are you going to take the bag or are you going to take the opportunity to get a chip? We got a man that had 18 sacks last year, and we essentially gave up $750K and a 4th-round pick. Lizzie, you want Kamara? I don't necessarily want Kamara, man. I don't necessarily want Kamara. Here's why I say this. Is Kamara that much better than Miles Sanders if we don't run him right? That's almost like I talked about this a couple weeks ago. Somebody on social media asked me, do we feel bad not drafting Micah Parsons when we could have had Parsons instead of Devontae Smith? And I said, that's a good question, but it's the wrong question. The question you should ask is, if we would have drafted Micah Parsons, would this defensive coordinator and this defensive scheme use them like they're using them in Dallas? And the answer to that is probably no. That's the question. You want Kamara's production in Philadelphia, but Philadelphia is not going to run Kamara like they do down there. They're not going to do it. So the expectation has to change. We're just getting to the point where we can look at Miles Sanders as the bell cow. That means that he's the number one back. When I came up in college, I was that dude in college. I didn't step off the field. The only reason I came off the field is if I was dead tired or I had an equipment failure, had to take my mask off, my, belt got ripped or something like that, and I had to get fixed up. That's the only time I came off the field. When you're a number one back, you do not want to come off the field. Miles Sanders should stay on the field. Kenny Gainwell, I haven't seen a reason why we should take Miles Sanders off the field, unless he's just dog tired. Miles Sanders has been catching the ball. Leave him in there for pass patterns. If you want to put Gainwell in there at pass patterns, you can do that. But every time Gainwell come in the game, if you spread him out wide, you know what's coming. So run him. Let him be that number one. I still want to see Boston Scott get some more and Trey Sermons get some more. But hey, there's 22 people on the field and only one ball. So clearly that's not going to happen. But I don't want Kamara, Glizzy. I'm not interested. I mean, if we get him The questions always remain: who we giving up, and what's going to change? To me, that's the more interesting question. If we did get Kamara or Hunt from Cleveland, if we did get one of those two backs, what would we do different? And if we did do it differently, that means we could have done it differently now. That means we could have, whatever we may do with different pieces, we could have been doing that 3 and 4 weeks ago. But then again, why would you do that? We 6-0. You literally have not much to complain about. The defense, everybody wants defense to blitz more. We holding opponents under 20 points. You can't bitch about that. Miles Sanders, he's just not. I need something more from him. You can't. At one point, he was almost at 5 yards a carry. The only reason why he's not at 5 yards a carry now is because we had those BS plays last week where he took tackles for losses. That was just bad play call. So I expect Miles Sanders to have a good game and to get him back closer to that 5 yards a carry mark. I expect him at the end of the game to be like, above 4.5 yards a carry for the season, for the average for the season. But when you get running backs that are over 4 yards a carry, you cannot complain. That's the standard, 4 yards a carry. Give me the ball 3 times, that's the first down. Period. That's how you got to look at it. Miles is running great. I still wish they would let him run with Jaden under center more so you can run off tackle and beat somebody to the edge and like stuff like that. I want to see stuff like that because I see other teams doing it and I get mad because I'm like, we can do the same thing. We don't have to run everything out of gun all the time, especially on goal line. Don't get me started. Please don't get me started. That's the one nitpick I have with this offensive team. Our goal line offense is suspect. Some of the plays we call, don't run out of gun on the goal line, please. Give the ball to the tailback deep and let him race somebody to the edge. Maybe he makes it, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he jumps and tries to get the ball past the cone. But don't have him step sideways and then try to accelerate to the line of scrimmage. You can't. That ain't gonna work on goal line. So that will always be my nitpick until they change it. So Joseph, I'm with you, bro, 100%, man. Leave it alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and it definitely ain't broke. So why would you? Why would you? You know what I mean? I don't know what people get so caught up in. They want to see the guy that they want to see. I remember what was the guy from Dallas that we got? DeMarco Murray. We got DeMarco Murray, um, and they were running them out of gun, and it was like, what are you doing? What? DeMarco Murray is a downhill runner, and he just didn't look comfortable. And then I remember that one game we had him in ace formation. That means you 6-7 yards deep. Quarterback was under the center, and they handed the ball off tackle, and he went like 50 yards for a touchdown. And I was like, we could have been doing that all year. That is a situation where the coach's ego gets in the way because the coach is trying to fit the players around his scheme instead of fitting the scheme around the players you have. If anybody listening, if you are a coach of kids, you fit your game plan to the kids that you have. So it was, I don't know. People do that all the time. You look at Chicago, the game they just played, and they finally started letting Justin Fields run the ball. Like, get out, run the ball, whatever you got to do, loosen up that defense, and you see what happened. You see what happened. So you gotta coaches. Sometimes I don't think Philadelphia understands how lucky we are. We lucked into Nick Sirianni. Nobody wanted him. We looked at Howie like he was 14 karat crazy. I do believe that was with the way the situation went down with Doug Peterson when he left, Howie left, and when he left, they were scrambling to find somebody to take his place, and I just think they hit the lottery on this one because nobody heard of Nick Sirianni. If Nick Sirianni didn't get hired here, I don't even think he'd have been a candidate anywhere else. Well, I can't say that. I don't think he would have got hired anywhere else, especially not a head coach. But that's why they make the big bucks. They know more than we do. But we had never heard his name. But you got to remember, we had never heard about Doug Peterson being the coach either when we hired him. Same thing. And you see where that ended up. We got a ring out of that one. And that just shows you look at what Jacksonville is doing right now under Doug Peterson. It looked great until it wasn't. Doug is, and I still think in a couple years he's going to have sunshine right down there because Doug Peterson is a good quarterbacks coach. Brian Daly, what's going on, bro? For some reason, I thought you were already in here, man. My bad. Thanks for joining, man. But I don't think we understand and appreciate. We do appreciate it, but I don't think people really understand how good we got it right now. We hit the lottery on the coach, flowers and all. We hit the lottery on the running back, even though he had a noodle arm and all of that other kind of stuff that everybody was saying it didn't matter. So, in every move that Howie's made is, A.J. Brown, CGJ, Kaiser White. And then now you got Robert Quinn. Every move he's made, man, he's moving that queen on the chessboard, dude. And exec of the year, dude. He's got to be exec of the year. Either him or Joe Douglas. And where'd Joe Douglas come from? Philly. But this year, it's got to be Howie. It's got to be Howie. I'll be pissed if Howie doesn't win executive of the year. Because that'll be a sham. Must have used a lot of fertilizer in the offseason. Yeah, man, we got to keep that salary cap healthy, man. But guess what? Howie finds a way. Shifting money. But I don't think I finished my thought about Jalen. Jalen's going to get paid. But I'm wondering if Jalen's going to is he going to choose culture over the bag, culture over cash? Is he going to take less money so we've got enough money to sign other players? That seems to be gaining some strength now because you're looking at Devontae Adams. He got the bag in Las Vegas, and look at the situation that they're in. They are in a mess. I think the only person who's really came out better than the situation they were previously in, was Vaughn Miller in Buffalo. Vaughn Miller is not what he used to be, but Vaughn Miller is still a beast, playing at an elite level, and he's on the best team in football right now. Tyreek Hill took a step backwards. I don't think Miami's looking good. I don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs, and they got to stay healthy because now every week there's that question mark over Tua's head. Kyler Murray, Wick, to your point, Kyler Murray got paid, and I think he deserved his money. I think they sabotaged themselves when they put out all of that Call of Duty stuff. And it's like, you know what? If people knew what some of the players do after the games and all that kind of stuff, and you worry because he playing Call of Duty, I mean, it sounds, I don't know. That was just a dumb thing to do, because now you're going to call him out because you say he's not studying enough. And I don't believe that for a minute. You say he's not studying enough, then you pay him. Well, which one is it? And some of those losses, they weren't on him. But I understand that he's facing the franchise, everything that comes with that, so he got to deal with it. But when you give somebody the weapons that they need, you see what happens. DeAndre Hopkins comes back, they look like a totally different offensive team. Eagles get A.J. Brown, everybody's eating. It makes a difference when you have weapons. Hollywood Brown was balling, but Hollywood Brown can't do it by himself. Now, when he gets healed up, I don't know how long he's going to be out. But when you have Hollywood Brown and DeAndre Hopkins on the same field at the same time, they could do some damage. And I don't know why Collar's not running like he. I don't understand that. I don't know. Facts, Wick. Jalen is the leader that we need. Yep, we need somebody even keel, keep everybody focused. And I know we as fans talk about going undefeated and all that kind of stuff. But let me say this as a former player. That is the last thing you talk about in the locker room. You don't talk about that. The minute you talk about undefeated, that means you're overlooking everybody you got to deal with. You concentrate on the team that you got to deal with right now. That's all you do. You can only play one game at a time. Oh, Hollywood's out for the year? Did I see that? I thought, well, maybe he is. They really gonna struggle now. So, but I don't know, because when DeAndre Hopkins came back, just like when that first game with AJ Brown, we like feed him. So Astros 11-0. Come on, son, stop tripping. They have not lost in the playoffs, if that's what you're alluding to. So you got to respect that. But they're gonna take a couple L's in this series, and we're gonna take the series. So that's the way it's gonna be, Corey. So I'm gonna get ready to watch this game, because hopefully it'll be a decent game. And I guess eventually I got to get back to Rings of Power so I can finish that. Um, but a couple quick notes before I get up out of here. I just started today, and because I'm having issues with Facebook right now, I couldn't announce it because me and Facebook are not friends right now. I don't know what the hell's going on, but yeah. Anyways, okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. All right, Brian. But Thursday mornings, I will be on a show called Morning Coffee on RVN TV. That is a local South Jersey TV station. It'll be streaming Thursday from like 7 to 9. I have a segment on there. It's about 20 to 30 minutes. I'll be on there every Thursday just talking sports, very similar to what I'm doing now. Check my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and Facebook, because the links will be on my social chats. So that just started today. I will be a regular every Thursday, 7:30 a.m. So got to get your butt up. Check me out. And also check out my YouTube channel, Pro Fan Talk. I'll be putting content, just talking about Eagle stuff and a couple other things. I'm just getting it started. But because of the issues I'm having with Facebook, like, I gotta find a different avenue, because they get weird for no reason. So check me out there. I'm trying to put content up every day, but it's hard because I'm busy. But I appreciate you checking it out. Give me a subscribe and let's keep growing. All right. So I'm going to check out this game. Enjoy the Thursday night game. I will be putting up content during the week. I'll definitely put some stuff up pregame, Saturday night, definitely Sunday night. And I got some things lined up. I got a good friend of mine. You guys may have seen him in the chat, Vince. He hasn't been here tonight, but he is going to Houston. And we might try to get something where he can send me some live stuff from Houston. So we'll see how that pans out. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to check out this game, and I'm going to check out one more episode. I think I'm on episode 5 of Rings of Power. I got to catch up. My sister's getting mad at me. So I will see you guys this weekend. Again, check out the YouTube channel, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great week. Have a great weekend, and let's go Birds and ring that bell. Let's go.